Hello, you all. Welcome to this new edition of Lectio Musica, the place for great lyrics, great music, and great meaning. My name is Guylain Prince. I'm a Franciscan friar from Canada. I love rock music for a long time, especially hard rock, metal, and prog. Every week, once a week, we stop like right now with you. And we listen together to a new song. Most of the time it's a new song for me. And we do three things in one video. First, a lyric video. Second, an analysis of the lyrics and of the song, in which I make the analysis of every verse and everything, and I comment. And after that, we listen to the song. Either it's a video presentation or live version. Sometimes it's both. And that way, we did great music. In 2020, we did Nightwish, Epica, Rush, Liliac, and so on. So we just finished a whole series of 24 songs of Nightwish through their repertoire. It was wonderful. Now, let me introduce you to a new band for most of you, I'm pretty sure, on my channel from Europe. There is a new band from Mexico. They are three sisters. The band is called The Warning. And The Warning, they are quite exceptional. I don't know their last EP. I've listened to half of their first single. It was last spring or summer. And I immediately stopped this song. Exactly the same story as I did with Nightwish almost 2 years ago. I listened to about half the song of Noise and I stopped immediately. And I say, I have to make really a deep listening to that song, and I want to analyze them. That song, those songs. I had exactly the same impression with their first song called Choke. The EP is called Mayday. The EP was published, if I remember well, not a long time ago, maybe a month ago in October. But the first single, Choke, was released at the end of spring, beginning of the summer. I haven't listened to anything else of the album. I don't know the album. I will discover it with you, this new EP. And why am I doing The Warning? I will tell you why. I like many people, I have seen when they were 8 years old, 12 years old, 16 years old, something like that, they did a cover of Enter Sandman from Metallica. It was so cute to see these three little girls doing a metal song. And they became famous because of that. Even were invited in Ellen DeGeneres in North America, receive a scholarship to study in Berkeley. They are, and their last album, Queen of a Murder Scene, I haven't studied it and listened to it extensively, but what I listened of that album, I was amazed how young women can be that good, really. So I'm so looking forward to see these 6 songs of their new EP. Again, the name is Mayday. The first song is Choke. So, you don't know me, maybe? I told you, my name is Guylain Prince. Yeah, Franciscan friar. And every video I do is exactly like this, every time. Section 1, reaction to the lyrics of the song. I don't want to see at that point the official video. I don't want to see live press. No, I want to hear and look at the words. If there is a lyric video of that song, that's what I want to see. There is a lyric video of the song Choke. Secondly, I will do a short analysis. It's not in depth. I'm doing that on my free time just for fun. So I will do an analysis of the lyrics and give you an analysis of the lyrics, the construction of the song, and I will finish with my opinion on the song. Thirdly, I do a reaction to a live or a video of that song, and you will see me react to it. So I haven't seen anything I will show you today, but about 1 minute. It's one verse and one chorus of the song Choke I've seen of the official music video. The rest, nothing. My videos, they tend to be long. It's not just a reaction. There's an analysis. Just go to the section you are interested in. If you are only interested in reaction, don't forget, there is the reaction to the song, audio sound, first in the video, but also at the end I will react to a live version or the official music video. So there are 2 reactions per video and 1 analysis. This is what I do. This is what I always do for more than a year and a half now. Please feel at home anytime. You can subscribe. You can push the little bell right beside. It will send you a notification as soon as there's a new video. And half of that channel is the comment that are left by the subscribers down here. Please, I really do hope you will comment. I answer every single comment on my channel because I want this place to be a place of dialogue. So, without further ado, let's go directly to this beautiful video. It's a video published by The Warning themselves, a lyric video. Let's dig into this in 3, 2, 1.
I won't say goodbye. In the end, it won't matter at all.
Don't remember this.
I'm sure I won't survive the fall.
Just on one side. Okay, this is what I remember. What a great riff.
Wear your tears like jewelry. That vice is over.
What a line.
But artist and die with me, don't cry. Just let me drown. Let me drown. Let me dive in, sinking deeper. Push my head, drop me till I drown. Let me drown. Drifting out of trust, slipping down my throat into my lungs. It's cold, but this is where I'll stay. Comfortably in pain.
Wow. What a line.
Wear your tears like jewelry.
Love that line.
Vice is overpriced, but artist and die with me, don't cry. Just let me drown.
Ooh.
Let me drown. Let me dive in, sinking deeper.
yes. Oh, yes. This is solid music. Oh, that's good. That's good. Let me give one or two listen to this song again. I'll come back with the analysis in a second. Here we are back again with the analysis of the song. So don't forget, there will be a short analysis of the song right now, but later there's still some reaction at the end of this video. Let's go and go a little bit deeper. I think there's just one chord, and the words, they begin right away, if I'm not mistaken. And the sound of the guitar, I was a bit disappointed at my first hearing of the guitar. Is I said, oh, it's the plain, almost the plain sound of a guitar, electrical guitar. So nothing. It's like, as I would say, simple as it can be. A simple song, but after, of course, it changes. I won't say goodbye. In the end, it won't matter at all. I'm sure I won't survive the fall. I would say I won't say goodbye. So the person is talking to someone else. I won't say goodbye. So it means that their paths are splitting. So is that a friendship, a love? We don't know. But there's some kind of split as a basic situation. In the end, it doesn't matter if I say or not goodbye. It won't matter, I'm sure. I won't survive the fall. So this split is a fall for the person. Does the person receive a bad news of the departure of the other one, and then she says, oh, I won't survive the fall. So this song is from the suffering side of a split and not the other one. It's so the person has the impression at this moment that she won't survive the fall, that she will not survive the pain, the sadness of being away from we don't know who. And then the very beautiful riff of that song, just a few bars. I'm not sure there's 4 bars in there. A heavy riff. This is where it becomes heavy. I love it. I love this riff. It comes back at the end many times as an extra. Now, what I call here, the second paragraph, I call it the pre-chorus. It will come back as it is repeated exactly the same. Wear your tears like jewelry. That vice is overpriced, but art is dead. It died with me. Don't cry. Okay. Wear your tears like jewelry. It's not I wear, it's wear your tears. So as if the person, someone else is talking to the person's suffering. So this is how I see, there seems to be some kind of dialogue. Wear your tears, the person won't survive the fall. She's crying a lot. And she wears these tears like jewelry, probably the fact that there's some kind of reflection in the tears. Maybe there's a wet shirt. You have like a jewelry. Does that mean that take pride in your tears? I don't know. But this is a beautiful line. I don't know. Do you like it? Write that down here. I want to see. How do you read it? That vice is overpriced. So the person talking about the others is saying that vice. What is the vice here? So many tears that you wear them that everybody sees it, and it's a bad habit. So if it's a vice, it's a bad habit. The meaning of vice, bad habit. So the person always cries that much. It's overpriced. It means that people give too much attention to those who cry a lot. Is that the meaning of this? Huh? It's interesting. But art is dead. It died with me. So who is who here? And you will see, I will suggest a solution to that song. I think it's a person talking to herself. So sometimes she look at herself, crying all the time, and she says, "Oh my Lord, you're, it's a pity." But at the same time, she comes back as the crying one, and the one looking at the crying one with a sense of dark, I don't know if I can say dark humor, but yeah, that vice is overpriced. I love that line as well. Art is dead. What is the art here? Is it the art of crying extensively and abundantly? This is dead. This is outdated. Or is it that because you cry so much, the art is not there anymore, but it died with me? If the person speaks, she's not dead. It means that it's another death here. What kind of death? Well, the first verse tells, "I won't survive the fall." So there's the death of a certain part of the one speaking. And here, does this mean that the part that died in that split killed the art? The art of what? Is it the art of crying, wearing jewelry, or is it the art, I don't know, writing song? I'll let you think about this. Want to hear you about this one. It's not obvious, but I think there's a dialogue within the person, being on one side, I would say, immersed in tears, and on the other side, being a little bit critical of this. What do you think? These two first verses, I think they are great. Don't cry. So the second part is saying to the first part of herself, don't cry. It's overpriced. All this is maybe it's a little bit too much. What do you think? Let's go in the chorus. Just let me drown. Let me drown. So if I'm already dead, okay, it means that yeah, it's not real death. It's not, the person is not saying, let me finish it with suicide. It's not a physical death. It's like a death of the inside, which this is why art is dead with me. So just let you drown. Just let you being immersed in those tears. Water, tears, abundance. Let me drown in those tears. Let me dive in, sink in deeper, to go even further. So don't try to be critical with my tears. Don't try to tell me what to do. Just let the tears goes out of my body in a way. It's even written, push my head, choke me till I drown. Of course, if I say that to someone else, it's basically asking the person to kill me. But since it's not a physical death, it's very, I don't know how do you think of this, but push my head means, yeah, even help me to go deeper. Just help me to go there. Choke me till I drown. Help me to choke. That's strong words, of course, but you know what it means. In fact, these are words full of emotion. They are not reasonable words, but they are saying, I want to go in deep in there, deeply. And if you have pushed my head with let me drown, in fact, you understand that push my head is not impose me to be drowned. No, it's let me drown. Don't be an obstacle for me to go deeper. And even if you can help me to go deeper. This is how I would read it. Does that make sense to you? That's how I would understand all these elements. So there are, like I would say, contradictory feelings towards tears, towards the emotion that the person seems to live at a very high level. Let's go into the second. We have, okay, there it is, number 4. That's the second verse. Drifting out of trust, slipping down my throat into my lungs. It's cold, but this is where I'll stay, comfortably in pain. What? These girls are between 16 and 21 and they write like this? Comfortably in pain, drifting out of trust, losing trust, drifting like a piece of wood on the sea going away from the shore. I'm losing my solid ground, and I'm drifting out of what? Trust. Losing trust in the others. That's good. Slipping down, let me drown, slipping down my throat into my lungs. What is slipping down my throat into my lungs? Is it the air? No. Slipping down, was it the tears? Is it the trust? Is I'm literally losing it into my lungs? So I think what it suggests, what do you think about this? When you cry a lot, don't you notice that you kind of the breathing is hard? I would suggest that trust with the tears, they are falling, and it's the experience of tears and heavy breathing that goes with the tears that's behind those lines. And this is cold. Compare it to warm. The warmth of being with someone else. Now, I feel alone in this. It's when I'm cold. But this is where I will stay. I find this comfortably in pain. The pain here is represented as coldness, but comfortably as a choice. I choose to be there. That's my choice. I want to stay in there. Even it's painful in a way, yeah, but in that pain, probably I feel that something will come out of it. Wear your tears like jewelry. We come back with this idea that crying abundantly and ostensibly maybe is overpriced, but and this voice saying don't cry, but that's not what is happening, of course. Again, the chorus, and then we go like that's the bridge. Like a machine, every day I'm on hold. Breathe in and breathe out. I keep on waiting, tearing at my will. I wish I would just stop. Like a machine, every day I'm on hold. To me, it suggests that I'm in a state of being numb. You know what is numb? Like, oh my Lord, I feel like I have cried so much. I get the impression that I can't feel anything anymore. Like, yeah, some kind of emotional anesthesia. I'm on a hold, breathing in and breathing out. Here, I would say that it's the opposite of the other breathing. I would say here, this one is I barely breathe. I don't live. That's how I would understand that thing. I'm on a hold and there's nothing in my daily life and I'm numb. I'm under, yeah, some kind of anesthesia. Maybe I cried too much. And I keep on waiting, tearing at my will, tearing at. Here, of course, the verb to tear can mean to cry, of course, to shed tears. But here it's more like, I think it's splitting, crushing, or holding. It can mean also to hold my will. So as if I keep my will very low so that I don't come out of this. That would be very interesting. I wish I would just stop. Stop what? I think it's tearing at my will. I wish I would stop staying in that stasis, that numbness. I think that's what it means here. What do you think? Do you think it makes sense to you that way? Anyways, we go with the chorus, which is the equivalent as for paragraph 6 and 3. There's nothing special here, and it's repeated 2 times. Finally, you have the extra, 2 cycles of the few bars you remember between the first and second, when I said the heavy metal riff that I loved is repeated here, if I'm not mistaken, 2 times to go after to the finale. So the structure is quite straightforward. We call this verse, pre-chorus, chorus, ABC, 2 times. Then you have a bridge. There's no music almost between the chorus and the bridge. That's the D section. And then you have C and C. That's it, finale. A metal, hard rock feel, extremely catchy chorus in terms of music, with apparently simple music, apparently I say. And the song is lyrics. There's almost no instrumental section, which is quite unusual, to be frank, because the bridge very often in I would say mainstream music, you might have words in the bridge, or spoken or song words, lyrics, but most of the time it's instrumental. Here everything is based on words. It's a text-oriented song. Everything is in the text. Don't look so this is to tell, it's really speaking in music. So everything in that music very eloquently put into music the words. So I will say that I love the connection between the ambiguity of the lyrics is very well presented in the music. As for the lyrics now, it's a song in you and me. Okay, so theoretically, there are 2 persons. But who is who? We don't know. We don't know if it's one of the singer, if it's the collective. We don't know if they're talking about someone else's story. We don't know. What we know is that there's a you and me. But is there in that song really 2 persons? So someone talking to him or to her? Or is it 2 parts of the same person dialoguing? One is really crying like her heart out, and the other one is trying to say, "Hey, isn't that too much or something, trying to reason the emotion. That's and I would tend to think it's the second one. The words are simple, but not the lyrics. By that I mean they are on purpose confusing. And I think that is why this song is so great. It's because the lyrics are confusing, but they are talking about the confusing state. And the song, with a very heavy metal riff on a hard rock beat mainly, with one section that is a verse. The second verse is still a verse, but very differently sung compared to the first one. I find this the first one, and very slowly, and then you have the second verse, which is not the same way things are sung at all. But everything is toned down. You simply have the drum and bass guitar, and I think the guitar, the guitar is just doing a few notes here and there, and that's it. Oh, I find it very well constructed. It has nothing to do. This song has nothing to do with those, I would say, studio-made electronic stuff that we hear a lot today. There's a lot of good thinking in the progression of that song, even if the structure is quite simple, to be frank. I've been going through Epica lately, Nightwish, even Liliac. Liliac has one or two songs that are simple, but they are quite complex. So this is a simple structure, but the song is very well thought. I'm really impressed with that song. So in terms of the analysis, what is the meaning of the song now? Which is pretty much, for those of you who don't know me, that's pretty much my specialty, to get the meaning of a song from the analysis. So this is the result of the analysis. Either it's a song of one person talking to herself in a confused and contradictory state. It could be the same person. It could be the dialogue between related sisters or friends, very closely knit friends, talking frankly to each other. It could be that. But it talks about confused and contradictory state. So there's one thing and its opposite in a way, and it's working like that. So there is kind of a confusion in the heart, or there's something is trying to be resolved within the relation of those persons by expressing not opposite opinion, but certainly divergent opinion. Drowning here is not a physical death. It's a metaphor of being overwhelmed or completely immersed in tears. But here I suggest it's completely overwhelmed by tears, but by emotions, losing it from the emotion that you feel. And I not only do I let myself overwhelmed, but I want to stay in there to basically, I think, to live deeply the pain that I experienced with that apparent split, because the starting situation seems to be a split. I won't say goodbye. In the end, it won't. I won't survive the fall. Here, it seems to imply a death, but it's not. As you see, it's not. It's not. There's not a real physical death. Maybe the person for a while thought of it. Maybe. Oh, yeah, I just thought of that. Anyways, While there are opposite views on the tears, the main point of the song is clearly stated in the chorus. Let me drown, let me dive in, let me sink in deeper. And there's even this very strange push my head and choke me till I drown. I suggest to you that because there is let me drown right after, it's not against my will choke me. It's more like help me to go into that state, whatever help you can give me. So maybe just by being there. Anyway, let me drown. So the fact that you have let me drown will tone down a little bit the push my head and choke me. This is my opinion on this. What do you think? Okay, now here's my opinion, global opinion of the song. It's a radio-friendly, contemporary, hard rock metal song of first-class quality. Lyrics, music, prosody, very good. It's not the highest poetry. I don't think we should never expect from people under 30 to have a very high level of poetry. But I can say that is very good writing. Effective and evocative writing. I love this blend of very to the point images, metaphors. I find this wonderful. I think that the only remark we could say, or it's not even a reproach, it's just to say that formally the poetry is not as, I would say, it's not equivalent to great poetry in terms of the form, but in terms of the content. And even when I say that, I'm talking about traditional poetry. Modern poetry does not feel, the actual authors, they don't feel like they have to have a very formal rhymes and the same number of syllables. This is poetry from not necessarily another century, but let's say today it's not the same anyways. Usually probably music and songs they are probably the most traditional in poetry, with the number of syllables and the rhymes, because it's really good. This one is not. There are many parts that are the rhymes are very clear, but other parts no. The verses no. So that's okay for me. That's okay because the song is so good. Apart from that, no. Now let's talk about the musicians involved. They are from 16 to 21 years old, my lord. The mains, they are so good. I have very good earphones for the bass guitar lines. If some section it is simple, but other section are great lines. And she's 16. Oh my lord. The drummers, the fills, and she's so good. But of course, in that song, the excellent tone of the guitar and the tone of her voice, the precision, the power of her voice, I think the singer, Daniela, is the star of that song. The melody of the chorus is out of this world. This is a song. Let me tell you something. I listened the first verse, the pre-chorus, and when I heard the quality of the chorus, I said, I stop immediately the song and I say, I will do one day the analysis of that song. It was so convincing to me that it convinced me to do that series on the warning. So remarkable. It's impossible to forget that chorus, and you know how much I appreciate great melodists, some great melodies especially. So I write the last thing at the end. I saw these little girls. I think the basement was 8 years old. I think 8 years ago or something like that. They did a cover of Enter Sandman of Metallica, and it was really cute at the time. They had in the basement of their house, and the drummer is so tiny. She was in the middle of a big drum, and okay, but they were children. You could see that they had talent and so on. But even at their young age, they raise interest a lot. The millions. I'm talking about over 20 million views for that video of Enter Sandman. But when I listen, maybe 3 or 4 times, Queen of a Murder Scene, I had it as a record in my car for about 1 month. I probably listened to it about 3 or 4 times. I loved Queen of a Murder Scene. I think there are many good ideas, and they were so young, and it was already very good. Their writing was already spectacular. But this is another level. This Choke song, both musically and I would say in terms of production, the result we have in our ears, wow. Okay, I will say something I really believe. I really believe that these girls are world class, a band and musicians. Okay, of course they will grow. They still have to grow in each of them in their instruments, but they are already, I would say, as a drummer, Paula is already a world-class drummer. I would say that Daniela, the guitarist, is very close to be one of them. And for now, she's a genius of rhythm guitar and riffs. Lead guitar, we haven't seen everything of her. Basement, she will still improve, but she is wonderful already. Much stronger than the bassmen and women we had in the 80s. This is wonderful. You know, a trio, you need a good bassman, and she's great. So, but already the production of Queen of a Murder Scene was very good. This first song, at least, I don't know if I will say the same at the end of the 6th, but this first song is world-class production. It's wonderful. So, world-class production for world-class talent. This is what I think of that song. I remind you that next week, we will take now from next week, we will take in the order they appear on the EP. The first one is called Disciples, of their last EP called Mayday. It will be the second song out of 6. So we will have the warning for 6 weeks. Reaction analysis in English. Don't forget, there are subtitles in French, English, Spanish, Portuguese, Finnish, Dutch, Romanian, and Italian of the lyrics version or studio, the analysis of the song, and a reaction to the live. Don't forget, the premiere of every video is Montreal time, 1:30 in the afternoon. That's something like 7:30 in Europe, especially Western Europe. And it will be every Friday. Don't forget, you can subscribe, push the little bell, the button subscribe, and the little red bell beside, so that you receive notification of when will be a new video. Okay. I have a surprise for you. I've noticed that there was a almost new live performance. If I'm not mistaken, I've just seen. I give you the screen. It's a live performance, but it's not a live in front of a crowd. So I say, why not? It's just 4 or 5 minutes anyway. So let's listen to it. I have never watched it. It's 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
I won't say goodbye. In the end, it won't matter.
See? A dry sun.
I won't fall.
There's the new effect.
When your tears fall
She's always pushing her pedals, all kinds of effects. She probably has
overpriced, but
that vocal by the drummer.
let me don't cry. Just let me go. Let me go.
Oh, she's singing all the way down low.
Sinking deeper, push my head, choke me till I go.
Yeah.
Let me go. Drifting out of trust, slipping down my throat into my lungs.
Listen to this beautiful bass line.
It's cold, but this is where I'll stay. Constantly in pain.
She's so tall. That's a 5-string bass. Yep, yep. That's why you have these beautiful, very low. Oh my lord, this is great equipment. Oh my lord. Oh, yes.
Let me dive in, sinking deeper, push my head, choke me till I drown. Like a machine, every day I'm on hold, breathing, breathe out. I keep on waiting, tearing up my will. I wish I would just stop. Let me drown.
I didn't even know that she was singing.
Sinking deeper, push my head, choke me till I drown. Let me drown. Let me drown.
Wow,
Let me dive in, sinking deeper,
she's so
push my
precise.
head, choke me
She's so
till I
precise. Yeah. Yeah, for 2 times 2. This is great stuff. Great stuff. I'm looking forward for the next videos of that EP called Mayday by The Warning. And don't forget, you can always subscribe and push the little bell so that you are notified as soon as a new video comes out next week. It will be the song Disciples. So this is it for this week. Bye bye.